Yes, welcome back to another video episode of the Ball and Buds podcast. You are seeing a brand new face. Yes, you have heard his voice many of times, and now you are seeing him live.
Maybe I can get my
color, or
this
as
camera
Clever
working.
D would say,
there we
in the red. So, my friend, MLB insider Mike.
I totally lost you again, Omar.
My camera's not working?
Hold the phone, Wheby. Hold the phone. Nobody wants to hear you right now. Right now, we're listening to your main man, Clever D, the Combat G, always in the place to be. And the place to be is on your time, and you're going to hear me rhyme. Let's talk about the club bangers. Let's talk about them.
Clubs bangers. Clubs bangers. Clubs bangers.
3 for 3. Yes, me. 3 for 3. I told y'all Chandler was going to lose. I told y'all Esparza was going to lose. I told y'all Izzy was going to La La Land. Pereira, new champion. I told y'all this. Y'all need to listen to Clever G. These club bangers, we giving them out for free, okay?
Clubs bangers. Clubs bangers. Clubs bangers.
I wasn't at the event. I had to stay here. I have a restraining order. I can't go out there sometimes, but I was here with someone's mom hanging out, eating bonbons on the couch with an RC Cola, okay? Anyways, we had Chandler. I thought he was going to sleep when he got clipped in the first round, but he went to sleep via tap out in the third round to Dustin Poirier. The diamond got him, put him in that rear naked choke. Go to sleep. Think about it tomorrow. And then Esparza. I thought Esparza was going to sleep. I thought she was going to sleep in a second. I called the round correctly, but she tapped out instead. Okay, I thought it was Eric Watts. I thought it was the STF that she had her in. You know what I'm saying? She had her choke him. Thought she was tapping, saying "Uncle, Uncle." It was one of those things. I saw a meme saying it was when your girl goes through your phone and it's unlocked. You're trying to get her away from it. That's what it looked like on her. Okay. And then let's get to the main event. I told you, Izzy does not have the dog like.
Yep, your screen's frozen, no sound.
Rampage, Wheby, be quiet. He does not have the dog in him like a Rampage Jackson who lost and got knocked out by Vanderlei Silva twice. You know, he was fighting pretty good. I thought after the first round when he clipped him, he was going to go. You know, he's going to win. But Pereira had him in the fifth. He was bobbing and weaving for a second. I thought that was Mary J. or Lil' Kim dancing for. I didn't know what he was doing. Did he drop his contacts on the floor? I don't know what he was looking at, okay? But he took an L, and I called it, all right? If y'all didn't listen, it's your problem because you weren't watching. You're watching me with your mom in a discussion. You know what, Wheby? Have your time. I'm out. Clever D, baby.
Thank you for joining us, my brother.
Yeah, man, you got us on camera now. I got to find the right side. I don't know which one's the best. I think they're both bad, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's a brand new concept for us all. I got Clever D on here. I don't know if you've been here. Through the grapevine, he's had some words for the redhead, so I don't know if you want to respond to him later. But
yeah, I saw him butt in on the 50th episode. He reminded me of that. You see that thing where they were taking the picture of Trump and he was just kind of pushing through all the dignitaries to get in the front of the line. That's kind of what it felt like. I'm not going to lie. I felt some kind of way about it, but.
He loves interrupting you for some reason. I have no clue why. And I don't know how he gets into the system. Like, I don't know how he, hot wires, but I don't know. Anyway.
He is the ghost in the machine.
Yeah, exactly. So we are here for our MLB World Series review. We're going to talk about some of those major awards as well and preview free agency. First, I want to make my pitch. Jake, we love you. We want you back. Please don't leave us. Please don't leave us. Please. All right. That's it. I had to do that. All right. So, my brother, let us talk first. Obviously, the World Series, that's the biggest thing people want to hear about. The Astros lost an amazing 2 games, the whole playoffs, and both of them were to the Phillies. It was a 6-game series. Astros won 4-2. Jeremy Pena was the MVP. My friend, give us your thoughts on the World Series.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of these things right, but I did have Astros in 6. So, yeah, it was fun to watch. Most of the games were close. A lot of fun. The Philly bats just couldn't hang after those first couple games. Houston was really a top tier team. They were complete top to bottom. I think I've said it 4 or 5 different times on your show before. Bullpen, bench, starting pitching, the depth they had from top to bottom of the lineup, was incredible. And they really got to show off in the World Series, and like they did in the rest of the series, and kind of forced their way into another championship. So good for them. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, like you were saying, and you said this all year long. You told us since our preseason preview that the Astros were the most complete team, and that you had them winning the championship, and they really were. They ran through everybody. Like we said, they only lost 2 games, and they were both to the Phillies. So I mean, that's pretty. And I mean, the series, while the Phillies won 2 games, was not as close as that may indicate.
Yeah, I think the only person that had more confidence in the Astros over me was Mattress Mac. He was the only guy that really put his money where his mouth was on that one.
Mattress Mac made so much money off of that. Now, I mean, yeah, if you put a lot of money, you're going to make a lot of money, but still, like,
$75 million. That is a lot of coin.
Wow. Well, good for him. He's not got a lot of years to spend it, so he better spend it while he has the time.
He'll gamble it away too. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Are you in your man cave? Because I'm seeing a lot of memorabilia, but I can't see everything.
Oh, it's like my office, my work office. So,
all right, cool. All right. So, any other thoughts on the World Series? Jeremy Pena, the rookie, being MVP. How crazy is that? Verlander getting his first win. Dusty Baker getting the championship. That's what you wanted.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting to look back after the series was over, and Pena was really the only person that was consistent the whole way through. It seemed like every game there was someone's game. Alvarez had a game, and every game it was one person kind of dominating. Tucker had a game, but Pena whole way through, I think he had 10 hits in 6 games, and he deserved it. He earned it. He played great defense, got clutch hits when he needed them, got on base, scored runs. He did everything you wanted him to do. When you look at value players, what a decision it had to have been, and the criticism that they had to have gone through to let Correa go for a no bat, all defense rookie shortstop that wasn't supposed to make it. And here you go. Correa went out there, made $33 million. You took that $33 million, invested it in Verlander, who won the Cy Young, and you still ended up with a hell of a rookie and a guy that won, League Championship Series MVP and World Series MVP. Hats off to him, man.
Dude, I mean, as much as I hate the Houston cheating Astros, we agree on one thing, is that their upper management, their player development, their decisions off the field are just impeccable. And like
Class
you said,
of league, yep.
Absolutely. They got hammered. They got hammered for letting Correa go.
Mm-hmm.
Hammered.
I couldn't believe they let him go. He was the one. He was the chosen one, the golden child, and he's the one they let go. It was such a shock to me, and that's why those guys are working in the C-suites of major league teams, and I'm here chatting with Omar.
That's why they get paid the big bucks. But I must say, y'all,
that's
everyone
right.
listening to the video podcast, our MLB insider Mike Wheby has gotten everything right, so I think he should be in one of your front offices. You better come get him while he's still here. All right. Anyways, I don't know why I said still here. Like, you don't have many years left on Earth. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah. Is there something I don't know you need to tell me? Or?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm still waking up. It's early in the morning here. All right. Anyway, so let's move on. The awards. You had 3 out of 4 right. You had Verlander, Goldsmith, and Sandy Alcantara, which was great. I'm happy he got it. And then the fourth one, the huge one, you had Shohei. Judge was almost unanimous. He was short, I believe, 1 vote. So what do you got to say about those?
It's okay for everyone else to be wrong. That's all right. I'll accept that. It's cool. I don't need apologies from anyone. It's okay. That they were all wrong, but for Shohei to finish 4th in the Cy Young Award, and then, right behind there in the second in MVP. What are we talking? What is an MVP then? Is it just a guy that hits home runs? Yeah, is it just someone that hits home runs into a short right field porch at an embarrassing minor league baseball stadium that Yankee Stadium put out there with that wind tunnel? Or is it a guy that goes out there and plays, hits the ball, pitches every fifth day, the most valuable value that you could possibly imagine in a major league season? But it's okay. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I got the other three right. So
completely buried what could have been the best walk season in the history of sports.
Yeah. So he's going to get paid, man. Good for him, though. Good for Judge. Go get him, man.
What are you hearing about him? I hear there's like up to 4 or 5 teams on him, including the West Coast teams.
Yeah, you who knows? You hear the stuff about the Giants, and there's every year it seems the Angels put their hands in something they don't need to put their hands in, and but yeah, I think it's going to come down to the Giants and the Yankees. I think he's going to just re-sign with the Yankees. I think he'll take the money and I think they'll give it to him. So they're going to do everything they can to kind of bring back the same team they had last year. I think it's an opportunity for them to kind of reevaluate where they are, because I don't think that team's built. I mean, I know they just lost. They were just in the league championship series, but anybody that watched them all year long knows that that's not a team that's built to win for a long time. I think they have an opportunity here to kind of reevaluate where they are and make up for some mistakes that they've made in the past. But hey, if you get the best player in the league and you have an opportunity to get him back, go get him. So I think that's what they're going to try to do. I think they're going to spend the money, and I think he's going to take it. So,
I mean, I agree. I would as well. I don't see how you let him walk after that, especially with your fans.
It's such a hard team, though, because they can't rebuild. I can't imagine a team in any other league other than maybe the Cowboys or the Lakers that you're not allowed to rebuild. You're not allowed to hit a reset button.
Right.
If you're mired in bad contracts and mediocrity, you have to sit there and just be stuck in the quicksand. Yeah. Like you look at the Lakers are going to be bad for a while. They don't even have draft picks for like 6 years or something like that. It's insane.
Screwed.
They have no opportunity to rebuild, and it's going to be something. But yeah, it's tough for them. I don't know how they have to do it or what they have to do, but they got to do something different because that team's not going to do it.
Yeah, and
I honestly think it's a third place team in that division next year. So,
place
depending on what they're able to bring back and what they're able to upgrade.
Yeah. You have been high on the Blue Jays forever. I can see that, and I definitely see them resigning them. Like you said, they're a home run hitting team. That's what they do. So if you're going to do that, you might as well have the best home run hitter in the league. That being said, you know more about free agency than I do. So please tell us and myself and the fans, what are the mechanisms here? Why is it that people like Judge and DeGrom have not signed yet? I know you can play the field, but it seems like it's been already almost a week now after the World Series. We should have had some more signings already. My biggest signing I can see is Edwin Diaz right now.
Yeah, so far, I mean, there's, when the winter meetings happen, everyone has to get together and talk to each other, and all the GMs kind of figure out where they are, setting markets with the agents. So you look at these shortstops, right? There's a plethora of shortstops out there. No one's going to sign until the market's set somewhere. So once an offer comes in and an offer's set, that's what everyone else is building off of. You saw it last year. You saw the shortstop sit there until damn near right before the season started. So it's really about taking your time, letting the offers come in, building off what was there before, and moving on from that.
Wheby, be quiet. He just.
Yeah, so you have to let the market build itself. The players and the agents are going to meet at the winter meetings and they'll start exchanging numbers. But think about what you saw last year with that shortstop market. I think you're going to see the exact same thing this year, where Trevor Story didn't get signed till right up against spring training, because you don't want to take the first piece of bait you see and lose out on, what could be generations worth of money here. If you bite at the first offer, if you're Xander Bogaerts and you bite at the first offer, and then Trey Turner gets an extra year and $60 million more than you did, if you had just waited and let that market build itself, you could have, maybe even gotten more as a desperate team's second choice as opposed to a team's first choice. So there's a lot of negotiation that needs to go on. You have to be patient, especially when you're talking about these guys that are going to demand, hundreds of millions of dollars at one time. It's a lot of money. It's real money, and that these people are spending. It seems like monopoly money to us as we're sitting there watching, but if you're gonna get Trey Turner, you're gonna have to spend 300 million real American dollars. So you want to spend as little as you possibly can, and you're gonna do your due diligence and take your time to make sure that you get the player you want at the price you want when you want them. So yeah, it's gonna take some time. I honestly think Judge will probably be one of the first people to come off the board, because I think, if you're negotiating against yourself, which I kind of have the idea that he's doing, they're really just going to be talking to the Yankees and the Dodgers, or the Yankees and the Giants, and maybe the Dodgers too. Who knows? But those deals can come a little quicker. But I think that, your longer term ones, you're not going to see Carlos Correa signed tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be crazy, that waiting game, waiting out your fellow free agents, especially if it's a deep class of your position, and waiting on the teams too. It's just a huge waiting game. Wow. All right. Well, thank you for all of that insight, my brother. Do you have anything else on free agency you want to touch on, or anything else?
Nope. I'd love to hop back on later after we do get some signings and kind of reevaluate what these teams look like in their divisions. There's some real tough decisions out there. What are you going to pay 40-year-old Justin Verlander, and how many years are you going to give him? I know he just won a Cy Young, but he also just had his arm rebuilt, and I'm 40. I know what my body feels like. I don't even use it like he does. So, some tough decisions there. Are you going to give a guy 3 years, $90 million when he's 42? There's some DeGrom. What's DeGrom? I think is the biggest question mark to me. Personally, I wouldn't give him that $35 million contract for a guy that made 11 starts last year, who's pitched maybe like one full season. So I think someone's going to give it to him. We'll see. I think it'll be very interesting to see how this all turns out in 8 weeks. So.
All right. Awesome. And thank you again to MLB insider Mike Wheby. Do you have anything you want to say to Clubber D before we sign off?
Oh, man, I'm not going to give this guy the time of day. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned it. Everyone's been listening to what he's been saying, how wrong he's been about everything. And you sit here, you look at a professional like myself who can sit here and give you guys honest, correct calls on things, stuff you could take to Vegas if you want to. I'm not asking you for money, but I'm also not out here wasting your time either, giving you bogus picks based on bias and the people I think have the coolest name or have the coolest walkout song. No, So as far as he goes, I got nothing to say to him. So
to another video episode of the Ball and Buds podcast. We are back after an amazing card, UFC 281. What a finish. Well, actually, it was a bunch of finishes. I believe, if I heard the broadcast booth correctly, they had like 7 KOs or something. Wow. Anyways, you, sir, I know that you already have been touting your record. You were a beautiful 4 for 4, so dust that dirt off your shoulders. The after the fact king is after no more. He is on time.
Right. I want my respect. I want my credit. I did a run-in on Wheby, that red-headed potato bread. He was doing this. I don't care what I'm wearing my Niners right now. I'm wearing red just to put it in his face, okay? When I jump in, when he's talking, he needs to be quiet and just let me go, all right? And I forgot to say something earlier, I'll say, go ahead, Omar, ask me a question. I'm still riled up. I need to calm down. I need to calm down.
I got you, because I know exactly what it was that you forgot. in your run-in when you were all riled up with the redhead, you said you were 3 for 3. You forgot the Edgar versus Gutierrez fight. You, sir, 4 for 4, Clubber D. You had Edgar versus Gutierrez, KO round 1. It was an actual KO round 2, but who the hell cares? Because that's beautiful. What do you have about this fight, my friend?
Well, first thing I have to say about this fight is, Frankie Edgar, like I said, he's a legend. He will be Hall of Famer in the UFC. Love watching him fight throughout the years. But take 2 and call me later, okay? Take 2 and call me later. I put this out for Chandler, but it was for you. I'm sorry. Okay? Take 2 and call me later. You had a great career. I knew something was awry when it first started. He just looked slower. Was he 41 years old? He looked 41, okay? It's like that. You ever go to an airport and see a grown-ass man try to run to his terminal in a suit? He's running real fast, but the body's going slow. Like in his mind, he's just all flailing around. That's how he was. For each punch he threw, he took back 3. But Frankie Edgar, I still love you. You still are the answer, all right? Took the L.
But he got the melatonin award from Clubber D. But as you said, we must pay respects where respect's due. He had a long, illustrious career.
Damn right, he's a champ.
Yeah, he was. And it was tough to see him emotional as he got off, but you know what? Hey, it was a great fight going out. So now we move to the next one. We have Weili Zhang versus Carla Esparza. Sir, you had a KO in the second round. It was not a knockout, but it was a submission second round. So you were right on again. What do you have to say about this fight, my friend?
Well, as I mentioned before, I am the after the fact king. So at times I might get it incorrect, but after the fact, I correct myself. But this time it's a semi-correct because I had the winner and the round correct, just the nature of how this person's going to win. So after the fact, I am still correct. It's just different, all right? You still got to your destination. You didn't drive, you took an Uber. You weren't in a car, but you were in a truck. You weren't in a truck, you were in an SUV, okay? You still got there, though. So I was correct on that part. So Clubber D was 4 for 4, and I'm still in a place to be. Just saying.
And we throw those 4s up. Fan 4 for life. So when you on that fight, though, I do want to follow up. What do you think is happening next with Yang? Then who would she be fighting?
I think they got her going against Lemos. She just fought on a fight night not too long ago. She knocked the girl out standing up. I forgot the young lady that she fought, but the ref had to stop her. Like she got her with the 2-piece, and then she was staggering around like she lost her Marlboros or something. She's just stuck on stupid. So Lemos, another Brazilian, she's very good, got some good hands. I think she beat Jessica Andre. I gotta do my my research on that one. But Lemos is probably the next step. She's probably the next one.
How do you feel about that effort, though, that Esparza put in? She seemed like she was not there at all. She seemed like she did not want to be there.
Sometimes when the fighting game is a mental game besides using your fists and your hands and knees, you know what I'm saying? If you go in there defeated or feel like you're just, it's like going to work, you're having a bad day, and you let what's going on around you affect you. Same thing with fighting, you know what I'm saying? She already felt like she was outmatched, so it's kind of like in the main event. Somebody who's always cocky and talking all this shit, and then they were all quiet leading up to this fight. They weren't doing their normal antics because this person already put them in a twilight zone. They were already in the metaverse. So with that in the back of their mind, with the potential of being put to sleep like that, Esparza, she just wasn't on her A game. She's a good fighter, 2-time champ, but you got to bring if you're the champ. You can't get coffee.
Yeah. As a champ,
go to the soup box and forget your order. You got to know. All right, no soup for you. You got to go.
No soup.
Let's get your stuff. Let's
go. What did he say in Soul Food? He was like, I put my mouth under the faucet for 25 cents. Oh yeah, no, she looked shook. And then when the submission was coming, she just looked like she gave up fighting even before it came. She was just like,
she first tried to get her in a crucifix. And then when she modified it, and like the second she synced it in, it was instant. You know what I'm saying? You thought she was Shawn Michaels when she was slapping her leg. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a Young Bucks. I thought it was a super kick party. I didn't know what was going on. I heard a slap. I almost threw $1 in the air. I thought somebody was, throwing it back at the spot we were at. So,
not the leg slappers extraordinaires.
Hey, if it was her shoulder, I would have called her Barry Horowitz. But it's just one of those things.
Not Barry Horowitz. You and Disco Inferno would have a great time railing on all the leg slappers. He hates the leg slappers.
Yeah, I've heard. Di's he's a character.
He is a character for sure. Right-wing character, but he's funny. Anyways, it's all good. All right, next fight. Poirier versus Chandler. This was a humdinger, a barn burner. You said KO1. It was actually a sub 3.
Well, to keep it 100, see what I did right there, Di.
Oh,
yeah. So to keep it 100, so technically there was almost a knockout in the first because Chandler had him. He had him for a little while. But the thing with Chandler, he's one of those guys where I feel like he spent his good years in Bellator where he was a beast. He had 2 wars with Eddie Alvarez. He fought the Pitbull brothers. He's 36 now, and he fights at 155, but he's a very short, diesel dude. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that muscle when a lot of that blood gets in your muscles, you can't be swinging like that for 3 rounds. So if he doesn't get you out there early, he's not subpar. He's an elite wrestler, but he likes to use his hands. So when you're gassed, not much you could do. Like in the 3rd round, when he picked him up, tried to slam him, got kind of lazy. Dustin Poirier, Pauls took his back. That's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say where Chandler goes because his record's 2-3 while being in UFC. He's 36 years old. I don't know if he's still angling for that Conor McGregor fight. This might help him because Conor doesn't like to fight the top people at times. So if Conor ever comes back from that 6-month VADA testing stuff he has to do, but it's hard to say where he goes. I know Poirier was talking about he wants to fight Benil Darnish, probably butchering his name, but he wants to fight him next, stay within that top 3 round so he can stay next to, fighting Islam. But Islam's going to be fighting, what's his face, Alexander Volkanovski in Australia. We got tickets to that. I think it's in Perth, Australia. We'll be down there in February, so, it'd be perfect for, Ball and Buzz. But don't worry, we'll talk about that later. I got a couple Joeys I got to feed. So
a couple Joeys. The Ball and Budge podcast will be live in Australia for that humdinger, and we will be humdinging some Joeys all day. You're right, though. When I saw the first round, I was like, yo, Chandler's about to get him out. I was like, wow, I didn't expect this to happen, but you're right. I mean, he put all his energy out there in the first round, and he was just tired after that, and it kind of came to like the middle, 2nd, 3rd round and stuff. So,
and did you see the part? Just not to cut you off, but did you see the part where he was bleeding in his face?
Oh my God!
Just pouring the blood.
Oh man! I was thinking to myself, and I said, okay, I know they all get blood tested before the fight, but they would have to test for any blood diseases and everything like that too, right? I would assume, right?
I haven't seen much blood on someone else's mouth since I was with someone's mom. Let's not even go there. Let's not talk about the Red Cafe. So, anyways.
So gross. All right, let's move on to the main event. That was so gross, though. I was like, dude, he's bleeding all over him. I was like, I don't want nobody else's blood on. That's gross. Yeah. All right, anyways. The war zone. All right, anyways, the last fight, the main event. Wow. Alex Pereira, AP, as we call him, versus Israel Adesanya. This was another barn burner, another, as JR would say. I'll leave that to you. But you said KO3. It was actually a KO5, but to me, and I told you this before we started recording, when I saw them going to the 5th round, I said to myself, this seems like the exact situation that happened to Usman a couple months ago. Dominating the fight, or maybe not dominating, but winning the fight, and then coming into the 5th round and just getting sent out. So my friend, please give the crowd, the people what they want. What do you have to say about this fight?
Well, you got to understand, okay. After seeing Kamaru Usman go down in the fifth, after Wakanda Forever coming out the day before, T'Challa going down, rest in peace, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman. Then you see another African, not that Chadwick Boseman is African, but the person he plays is African. Now you see another African go down in the fifth. Okay, for some reason that all comes around full circle. I saw a meme that someone posted. I said, "Oh Lord," they had Francis Ngannou, Usman, and Izzy all going like this, but it was for Izzy and Usman was their knockout face. I have to send it to you on MySpace. But anyways, he clipped Pereira in the first round. He clipped him. He had him. But the round ended. He had the little stanky leg. I don't know if they do the bachata merengue. I know what they do in Brazil, but he started going from Spanish to Portuguese because he know what he was saying. So I was like, oh shit, he's about to get him out of here.
Hold on. When I saw that, I thought of you, and I was like, Clever D is thinking he's doing the stanky leg, and I said, I think the same thing. Anyway,
I thought Hector Lavoe was singing for a second. But anyways, after it got to about the fourth, I was like, okay, Izzy got something going on, but he might be the worst wrestler I've ever seen in my life. When they were trying to wrestle and grapple, what the fuck were y'all doing? I mean, I know you guys are stand-up guys. If this dude already knocked you out standing up, why would you institute wrestling? Because you said that in the beginning of in the pre-fight interviews, this guy isn't an evolved fighter, okay? Your weaknesses are wrestlers, so he's probably the same way. Why don't you learn a single leg or a double leg, take something? But he tried. I give him credit. He fights at the high level. Not knocking what he does, but I'm knocking what you do, bro. Come on, man. He should have took his ass down. And I'm with Izzy. You want to go out in the Shield when he was, going like this. I let him knock him out. Okay, this is the champ. Let him go out on the Shield. I know, fighter safety and whatnot, but if it did go to distance, I had Izzy by one, but depending on how that third round, if he got through that flurry, I could have saw a draw if he survived it.
That's crazy, though, that you say that and that you think about it in that way, because I wasn't thinking about that dichotomy. But it's like, wait a second. If the ref doesn't call him, if the ref doesn't call the fight there and maybe he gathers himself and can last a round, it's a whole different game when it goes to the points.
It's a 10-8 round. And you got to remember, like, I'm old school. It's like boxing to me. If you're the champion, you should do the stalking. Pereira was stalking him the whole fight, walking him down. Like Izzy was getting more the counter shots, but if you look at the punch stat total, it was damn near neck and neck. So he was stalking him and punching him at the same time. So you can't say definitively that Izzy was hitting him with choice shots, counter shots, outpointing him. He really wasn't doing it that much. It was a back and forth seesaw battle. So I slightly had Izzy up going into that round. But, sometimes you got to go to sleep standing up. Sometimes you got to smell an elbow. Sometimes you got to smell a knuckle or two. It's Folgers in the morning. It is what it is. He didn't go to sleep, but he was on he was on thin ice here. Like I said, he was just look at Lil' Kim dancing, look at that, and look at Mary J dancing. That's what he was doing one of those things, But
he was on Dream Street. He looked like me when I get tipsy.
I was gonna say another street, but we might get canceled, so we're not gonna say that.
That's so funny. All right. So, but they're gonna rematch next. I'm assuming, right? They have to come back for a rematch, or
I mean, shit. Izzy done lost to this man three times. One by decision.
Only one in UFC though. Only one in UFC. So technically,
that's true. But mentally, does he have it in there to say I can finally beat this man, or this man owns me? And
so who do you think AB fights next then? If not a rematch,
I think it's gonna be Izzy because they don't really have a chance because Whitaker is fighting Costo next.
Okay.
Costo. Depending on that fight and how it goes, if he doesn't get too many injuries, I can see him fighting Pereira next. Depending on, also comes in a factor is Izzy's suspension. How long is he suspended for not touching any weights? Is he like 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months? How that's going to factor in too, because this isn't like boxing where you want you fight once a year. They want to get you to fight at least 3 times a year. So we'll see. Only people that kind of it's hard for them to fight 3 times a year is most of the Muslim cast on Ramadan. I don't think they do fighting around that time or training. But I can see if Whitaker can beat Costa easily, like in the first round, I can see him next. But if not, it's gonna be Izzy. Because Izzy's the reigning champ. He's the guy at 185, so you can't just not give him an immediate rematch. So
yeah, and we know how Dana is. He likes to make those rematches, especially when he doesn't have other fighters on board. But like you said, Whitaker could be. So, all right, well, hey, Clubber D, the Combat G, 4 for 4. If you didn't take that to FanDuel or DraftKings or whatever the other ones were sponsored by, Caesars, then that's your damn fault. Clubber D, sign out. Hit him with that 4 for 4, baby.
Look here. Blame Rick. Blame Arm. Blame Oli. Blame Tully. That's on you for not listening, all right? You heard what I said. Don't worry about how it ended. Just know who won, okay? And next time you don't get it right, I'm going to have fun with your mother. I take it back. I like everyone's mom. I'm just joking.
Clubber D, sign out, my boy.
You know, it's your main man, Clubber D. Always in a place to be. The Combat G. Catch me on MySpace. I'm rearranging my top 8. Keep sending those emails. And I accept all gift cards, all right? Ex-Chippendale dancer. Let's go.
Thank you to Clubber D for joining us. If you like that video and you want more of Clubber D, his amazing analysis, expert boxing, MMA knowledge, and the funniness, hilariousness that he brings, please hit that subscribe button, like, download, share with your friends, and you will catch us ballin' buds on the flip side. Peace.
Melatonin Awards.